Saturday, May 6, 2017, Maneco64, home of alternative economics and contrarian views. I like to talk about cryptocurrencies and specifically why I think Bitcoin will remain top dog for the foreseeable future. And the reason why I say that is that I think Bitcoin is developing into a digital reserve currency, much like the Federal Reserve note, or US dollar, if you want to call it, is the reserve currency for fiat currencies. I know the status of the US dollar has evolved, since Bretton Woods, and that was a government, conference where they decided that the dollar was going to be reserve currency and not the market. But I actually think even back then, if you hadn't had a government conference, the market would have used the US dollar as a reserve currency. And why do I say that? Well, because at the time, the US dollar had the most, how can I say, backing of gold to it. It was, it backed, was the currency of the richest and most industrial country in the world. So it would have been natural that the US dollar would have become the reserve currency. Bretton Woods just kind of formalized that. And I think the same thing is happening with Bitcoin. And why do I say that? Well, I know it's early days. Bitcoin, was created in October 2008. So it's not even 10 years old. But we're seeing, of course, all the other cryptocurrencies coming up. They come and go. Like right now, you've got Ethereum, Ripple, Monero, Dash, and Bitcoin, of course. We reached above 1,600 recently. Right now, we're at 1,540. But the prices are not relevant to this video. Why am I saying that it's going to be the reserve currency for this foreseeable future? Well, because it's got a step up on all the other cryptocurrencies or digital currencies. I'm in the UK, for example. I have been involved, dabbling in Bitcoin for the last few years. It is not as easy, you can't go to the cash machine, the normal cash machine with a Bitcoin card or anything, or get pounds, your national currency. But we do have like Bitcoin ATMs. In London and other places in the UK, we have like something called, for example, an exchange called bitbargain.co.uk, where you can like actually buy Bitcoin with your through your bank, your national currency bank, and you can sell your Bitcoin. You've got exchanges, digital exchanges. And one that I'm looking at right now that I use is Poloniex. And I want to show you something on the Poloniex website. And this is one of the reasons why I think, Bitcoin is going to become the reserve currency. As you can see here, it's got all the list of, it's not all of it because I've only been able to take a screenshot of the top half of the page. But you can see there you've got Cinero, AMP, Ardor, Bytecoin, BitCrystals, Bellacoin, all the different coins and your balance on them. And then how much it's worth in Bitcoin. Not how much it's worth in dollars or pounds, but in Bitcoin. So you get my gist here. You see, if you, for example, I do a lot of my videos, all my videos, I publish them on Steemit. And I've earned Steem dollars and Steem. And I've been able to transfer some of them, not all. I've still got Steem in my account with Steemit, but I've been able to transfer them as Steem and Steem dollars to Poloniex. And after that, I've been able to sell it for Bitcoin. and then I sent my Bitcoin to my wallet, my blockchain wallet. And that's the way I'm accumulating Bitcoin, because for me to go, there are no, how can I say, ATMs for Steam or Steam dollars in the UK. So if I really want to spend my cryptocurrency that I earn, be it in Steam or Steam dollars, even Ethereum, I've done the same thing. If I want to, actually spend those currencies, the easiest way for me to do it is to sell them into Bitcoin and then go to the ATM or use BitBargain to get the pounds to go and spend it. I know it's a cumbersome process, but that's the way it is right now. And it's the same thing in the fiat world. You can understand now why countries get into dollars, because it's the currency that's had the head start on everything, for like 100 years, maybe a little less than 100 years. The US dollar has been the premier currency because the US economy is the biggest. It's been a reputable currency up until, I would say, 1971. I guess now it's backed by the petrodollar and by the US military. So it still, has some kind of reputation as a fiat currency. How long that will last, I don't know, but it takes time. You see, it's taken time for Bitcoin and all the other cryptocurrencies to evolve. Hasn't even been a decade. Yeah, so I think Bitcoin will be the, for the foreseeable future. You never know. You could get another digital currency that we've never heard of, that might compete with Bitcoin. But for the foreseeable future, I see Bitcoin, being top dog of the digital currencies. That's not to say that you should only have Bitcoin. You can, there's a lot of cryptocurrencies or digital currencies or alt currencies to choose from. All I'm saying is that if, in the end of the day, if you do really well in one of these cryptocurrencies, you're going to want to benefit from it in terms of spending and investing in other assets. And the easiest way to do that is to go back through Bitcoin and then into your national currency wherever you are. Yeah, this just goes to show that reserve currencies is a market phenomenon. I know the US dollar was became reserve currency. A lot of people think it became a reserve currency because of Bretton Woods. I think that was just formalizing an agreement. It became the reserve currency because the US was the supermarket for the world. It started really World War I. The US stayed out of World War I for 3/4 of that war. And during the first 3/4 of the war, the US was massively producing, ammunitions, all the supplies for the warring countries. And the US economy had been, growing and, becoming one of the premier economies in the world after the Civil War. And the British economy, the British Empire, of course, had the reserve currency. Why did they have it in the 19th century and early 20th century? Well, because it was the biggest trading empire in the world. It bought all the cheap raw materials from throughout the globe. It had a navy that protected its merchant vessels, and it had a advanced manufacturing industrial base in the home country in Great Britain, and that's why the pound became the reserve currency. Plus, it was a reputable currency. It was backed by gold. Bitcoin is backed by digital. It's backed by the all the mining effort, digital mining effort that it takes to create it. I'm not really an expert in how that's done. I've never mined for Bitcoin, But yeah, that's why Bitcoin is going to be the reserve currency for years to come in terms of digital currency. And I'm not saying that you know, the whole world is just going to use Bitcoin, because you go out on this in the street, you talk to friends, you ask them, oh, have you heard of Bitcoin? Very few people know about Bitcoin. So there's still a lot of potential for cryptocurrencies or altcoins or digital currencies. And I think it will only increase the popularity of these currencies, especially younger people being much more adept to the digital world than the older generations. So yeah, that's what I wanted to talk about. A little bit of a change in topic, cryptocurrencies, and how I think Bitcoin is the reserve currency of cryptocurrencies. So if you enjoyed this video, give me a thumbs up, share it far and wide, subscribe to my channel if you haven't yet. If you'd like to make a donation to the channel, be more than welcome. I accept Bitcoin. I also accept dollars through PayPal, Patreon. Yeah, I'll talk to you later. Take care. Bye.